Hello everybody and welcome to Tiny Bunny. So, Tiny Bunny is a visual horror novel. If you haven't heard of her before, I don't know how you may not have, because this thing has been making rounds and it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam, and I wanted to give it a try because I always love a good spooky story. So let's get right into it. Tiny Bunny. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like and subscribe button, join the channel. Come along for the ride as we explore this horror visual novel. Also, keep in mind that, we're just going to turn this down just a little bit. Also, keep in mind that this is bright. We have other horror games coming out too. I've started, the screen is very bright. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices. Shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. Twined? They were shouting and laughing, arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. One sec. This is, I can already see this is like ridiculously bright. That's because everything... Yeah, I'm probably gonna edit around this. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days, and was seemingly trying to share, okay, I'm recording, its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. Yeah, I do apologize, it's very, very bright. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swayed in the wind and couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it. There's no punctuation. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Oh, hi. Episode 1. The Owl Will Arrive. Hopefully it's not going to be this bright. Okay, that's better.
Убери книгу немедленно.
Russia. Let me see if I can just adjust the brightness. That's... There is no brightness setting, actually. Okay.
Сколько раз говорила, не читай за столом, вредно. Сидишь, сутулился весь.
So I'm just gonna let them talk. Not gonna try and talk over them or after them. Hide. I will hide the book. What's going on? Whoa! Whoa, I missed that. Okay. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. Okay. That's nice. I have a backlog, auto, rewind, menu, glossary. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. I haven't done that. Oli had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic. She looked almost like your typical girl from the commercials. Well, ain't that sweet? No.
Пока не съешь, из-за стола не встанешь.
Yes, ma'am. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Porridge is pretty good, though. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless nights, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. Yeah, cold porridge and oatmeal is not good. It looked like a jellyfish from the Cousteau Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Absolutely horrifying. Absolutely hate the ocean. NASA has seen what's down there. That's why their desire to get off the world increases. Or how cold the Black Forest is at night. Being unfair to this. So let's do that. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. Sorry, Mom.
Что я говорила?
Я достану.
Anton, so that's me. So that's Olia, Mom, not sure what Mom's name is, and I'm Anton. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. Bye, Mom. What is this, carved on the other side of the table? Karina. Karina? Yeah, that's my mom's name, so Mom's Karina. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. Ooh, her. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Yeah, probably. Probably deserved it. Should I remind her about it? No. She's been a bit in a bad mood lately. I imagined her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Probably. Or was the sounds coming from the attic? You have sounds coming from your attic and you're choosing to keep this to yourself? Or the thick forest? I imagine my grandma coming to my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of the bed where Olia sleeps nowadays, saying this in her soft, smooth voice.
Тайга особое место, дитятка. Она к тебе присматривается, принюхивается. Словно хочет понять, что ты за зверь такой. Понравишься, в беде не бросит. А будешь проказничать, схватит за бочок и утащит с собой под землю. Тут и дело с концом.
Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody. Never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. Aw, Babushka's dead. Pushka. Yeah. She already bought a casket. She called it her cute funeral box. Guess that's one way to look at it. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. I mean, it's dark. It was black, literally, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the last time she was alive, only all the photos were gone. Glass-covered picture with great faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. Yeah, that's generally a sign that it's haunted. I crawled out from under the table. Oh, eyes were not prepared for that. Olia was done with her cookies. I was looking at my chair like a sly woodland creature. Yeah, that's a sly woodland creature, alright. My tears gained towards the frosty window. Anything out there? There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass.
Оля, гляди, лиса!
I see it.
Где?
It looked almost like those optical illusion thingy they put back at student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit, and look at under a certain angle.
Да не на улице, на стекле. Смотри, вот нос, вот.
Ну-ка, доедай.
Sorry, Mom.
Да, сейчас.
I would bargain.
Я ничего не вижу.
Живо. Совсем немного осталось.
А, вот. Но все равно не похоже.
What did it look like to you, Olia, then?
А я говорю, похоже. Не-а.
Yeah, that was adorable.
Похоже.
Прекратите! Ну что за дети?
Sorry, Mom. Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty pattern similar to the stretched out nettle leaves kept creeping up the glass. Okay, I actually need these right now. Yeah, I do wear these. My dad entered the kitchen with long measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Same. Unfortunately, all I can grow is this. But my mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off, it stings." This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olia always covers her ears when she hears something like, "What's the point of all this?" through the wall. Oh boy. This is pretty sad. It's a heavy subject. It's all for your sake, Dad would reply, for the sake of our family. I was always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded. The deadliest word that started with a D. D-I-V-O. It's got heavy. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families.
Да что твоя лиса? Вот у меня на окне сова.
I like owls.
Опять ты со своей совой.
Так ты же вчера мне верил.
Никто ключи от машины не видел? Вроде оставлял на подоконнике.
Вроде. Вроде оставлял, вроде нет. Вроде взрослый мужчина, отец двоих детей, а вроде...
Перестань, пожалуйста, Карина.
Yes,
Дай
Karina,
мне
please.
спокойно собраться.
Oh boy. Okay.
В корзине твои ключи, возле телефона.
Огромное тебе человеческое спасибо. Антон, ешь быстрее, а то как мученик сидишь.
А сова?
Не было там никакой совы.
Была. Глазюки огромные. Во, и светятся.
Sounds like most owls there, Olia. Oh, hi. Olia sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each.
В прошлом году бабай
Hey,
в
guys.
шкафу. Сейчас сова?
What's up, bye-bye?
Я же видела.
There's a glossary. Oh. Bye-bye. In Slavic folklore, nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaved children. No wonder she's scared. Olia shifted her gaze back and forth from Mom to Dad to me, but couldn't find any support.
А
I'm
ты не
sorry,
думала
Olia.
подружиться с ней, нет?
There's an idea.
Вымышленными мышами покормить, например.
Не подначивай ребенка. Просто мала еще, и спать одна боится.
Olia powdered her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. If looks could kill. Oh, that look in her eyes. So uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing the keys he just found. A minute had passed from the theme, and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. Well, that was my lisp. It was stored on an incredibly worn-out cassette tape, which Dad already had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together. Gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Hard work and honest communication. Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Sorry, I didn't mean to downplay this at all. Oh no, Olia. Olia had trouble sleeping ever since we moved into this house. She would toss and turn or curl up to a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and her parents. Oh, frick, hi. Then Olia said she saw this giant flying monster outside her window. Don't cry, Olia. Okay, so this picture of the owl right here, this is literally, or it used to be my Steam profile picture. Like, I've never played the game, I just saw it and I thought it looked cool. Anyway. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. No, I think that's legitimately something. After last night, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Ow, I just kicked my desk. Can nightmares be infectious? Probably. That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep, and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways. Seriously? How about that? Okay? That better? My imagination drew long twisted hallways that led to the classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some creature, completely different creatures, were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Sounds like the computer level from Spooky's House of Jump Scares. Go back and watch it, it's pretty good. Anyway, their cruel glares filled with icy sneers made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down? Stomp on me with their bloody shoes? Please tell me I'm not the only one hearing the floorboard squeak. The dance school can burn for all I care. I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter. I didn't want to go there that badly. You know, in high school I actually had thoughts about that too. At times, but I didn't want to see the people who were just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider and some sort of monster. No, glasses are good. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. Yeah, so what do we got here? So we've got a cat that looks like probably Freddie Mercury. That's a Freddie Mercury stands. We have a knight, looks like the picture of the family, a castle, airplanes, books. It's a cactus plant, I think, and a triceratops. If you could stop with the squeaking, that'd be great. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine my mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or, "Anton is not around. Anton is not around." I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Again, really? Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? Lots of people. Lots of people would. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. She was attractive. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. Why'd it go quiet? The condo we used to live in. Okay, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. Sounds like someone's opening doors or walking. I just turned it up in my headset to see. It was silent and easy during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet, cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my diseased family with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. Don't change. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning. The attic was occupied by noisy drafts. That doesn't happen naturally. I don't think that would happen naturally. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the end of my perception I could hear a flute. It was mixed with the sound of the wind of the creaking old house and my thoughts too. Oh, that was me walking. Okay. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. Sounds like someone was playing it there amidst a cold, snowy night, right? I guess. I mean, it's cold, snowy night outside, but I don't hear anything. But is there anything playing outside your window? Ask the question. Sound like sound about right. I don't think I want to, but okay. That's fairly bright. Hi. Someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around, and crawled on all fours. Okay, so we've got... Okay. I can't tell. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. No, they're not. I think I see the owl that Olia's talking about, and I see the bear. Looks like a wolf and a fox, and I'm not sure what's playing. Is the fox playing it? Okay. Clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around, holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment, and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. The shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. That was loud. Oh, suddenly the music stopped. I don't like this at all. Okay, so now I can get a good look at them. So it looks like... Why am I pointing with my finger? I have a mouse. So it looks like a wolf, an owl, a bear, a fox, and maybe another fox or a cat. I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out the further we go. Okay, the music has suddenly stopped. I hate this, just them looking at me like... The dancing shadows rolled in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. Once the lights immediately parted from the bizarre shadowy shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. What? No, you don't have to do that. It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch-black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. See, I can handle horror pretty well most of the time, but this is kind of, This gets me. My heart was jumping around like a bird inside a cage. Yeah, it would. I shut the curtains. Why am I peeking my mic? I shut the curtains with swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. Well, music's back. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood under the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened for some unwanted guests to move and scrape around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into bed and covered myself with a blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of the chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling back her eyelids with their tiny legs. Why? Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. And now, lying under the blanket and listening to the squeaks and howls, I repeated the same words. That's spooky. I got a shiver up my
На
spine.
острове Буяне, в Синем океане, стоит домовина, в ней сало и глина, волосы седые, чертям еда, раба Божьего Антона не тронут никогда. Бесы запутают дорогу к дому. Мертвый к мертвому, живой к живому.
The bizarre sounds had disappeared. You're telling me that worked? I cautiously peeked out from the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. That's dark. And then the house doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. See, I have really good headphones, so this is like top notch. In reality, someone or something were scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious with it, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the force intently as if he was looking for someone.
Мертвое к мертвому, живое к живому.
I think it's in the house. Just saying, I think it's in the house. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then... the doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway. Once, twice, as the person who tried to enter had no hands. I turned this down a little bit more. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened. Okay. Now I can give his volume back. It seemed to get quieter. We'll go to there, and I'm going to see how that sounds. The door creaked and opened. Is that a face there? Right there. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now, you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness rised inside the carnivorous mouth of the doorway. Tony? It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung from the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Triceratops, defend me! Attack the target! Aggressive! Please! Tony. Tony, the short form of Anton. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. Before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me.
Ты спишь, Тоша?
Oh, yeah, my sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief.
Оля,
Yeah, me too.
я не сплю. Что случилось?
Olia frowned and stuck her out her lower lip, a clear sign she was about to cry.
Она опять прилетела и пялится на меня.
I'm sorry, Olia.
Прогони ее, Тоша. Прогони, пожалуйста.
So the owl's a girl. Interesting.
Я так боюсь.
Don't cry, Olia. I'll help. Please don't cry. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I need to calm Olia down. That's a protective brother instinct. I've had that.
Это был сон, глупая. Не пугайся. Сны не кусаются. Никто тебя не обидит.
Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself?
У меня есть идея.
Ideas are good, Anton.
Пойдем к тебе в комнату, видик посмотрим. Спящую красавицу, например.
Great movie, Sleeping Beauty.
Тебе же нравится этот мультик?
Почему у спящей красавицы принца у меня эта страшная птица?
Olia's asking the big questions. That question took me by surprise.
Ладно, давай посмотрим Золушку.
Another good movie. I'm a big Disney guy. Like, big Disney guy. Not as big as my brother, but big. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? Was studying me with his eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon. The darkness was clinging to the window, and I couldn't be fooled by Graham's old chance. Wait, where'd Olia go? I couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair.
Тоша, ты идешь?
Yeah, I'm coming, Olia. She left the room.
Да, сейчас.
Am I dead? Like, is this how I die? I'm not dead. Hi, Mom. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olia and her owl in the morning. Was that backstory? Was that like... That might have been backstory. That might not have been that night. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. Or they're desperate. So persistent, yeah. I felt extremely unsettled from just a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. They all come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet. Under the table. Behind the curtains where Olia always hides.
Тоша, подойди-ка сюда.
Coming, Mom. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, and still dragged towards the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. Mom always Winston grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At that moment, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся. Вовой зовут.
Vova?
Глянь, пожалуйста. Ты его не видел?
The policeman held out a photograph to me. I think one of those was a cat. I don't know. I'm seeing animals and I'm like piecing them together. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with the wall carpet as a backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile.
Нет.
Точно? Посмотри внимательнее.
Где мне его видеть? Я тут никого не знаю. Да и из дома-то почти не выхожу.
Same. Sorry.
А может, видел в окно?
Да, у тебя ведь окна на лес.
The window.
Нет, не видел.
Spooky. No, I haven't seen anything.
Ясно.
I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. Yeah, what are you looking at, buddy? I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. We have nothing to be guilty of. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the staircase and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте? Попривыкли уже?
Понемногу. Только вот дочка маленькая по городу скучает.
Скучает, значит. Из местных вас никто не беспокоит?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
The policeman peered through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started spinning.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner.
Я вот стою и думаю. Ты, малец, на племеша моего похож. Шустрый парнишка твоих лет. С такими же окулярами. Все книжками зачитывался. Детективами. Когда летом погостить приезжал, говорит, что в школу милиции мечтает поступить. Как я. Хотел людям помогать. Смекаешь?
I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not police officer stood before me.
Ох, ребятушки. Сидите-ка вы лучше дома. Не ввязывайтесь ни во что. Жизнь сейчас совсем другая пошла.
Mom interjected in a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
Ну да ладно. Ты, Антон, в каком классе учишься?
В 6-м.
Друзей-то на новом месте еще не завел?
Пока нет. Я только после каникул в школу пойду.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай мой номер. Звоните, если узнаете что.
Sorry, I clicked that way too fast. The policemen were gone with their shadow, the smell of cheap cologne and a photo of the smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? What would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually?
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу заблудился?
Выходит, что так. Бедный ребенок.
I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ drove off towards the village. UAZ had a Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand which was produced in the Yulvansik car factory. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels of the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. It's always good to learn. Black Kitty, a series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery books. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels read that. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mystery there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people. And after a set of amazing adventures, bam! Solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of Trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. Then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Bad idea. Maybe I'll find that lost boy. Very bad idea. And I'll get a reward. Olia will be so happy. Well, that's nice for thinking of your sister. Not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they can forget about their quarrels for a while. Poor Anton. And poor Olia. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasize about buying Olia a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. Yeah. Kinder Surprise are great. What was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time, and there was an annoying song about it. I counted a song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Combination that became wildly popular in the early 90s. Okay. I had little to no idea what the accountant's job like. They count money, I think. That seems like an over-exaggerated description, but yes. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had any money to afford sweets, and I would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. Oh. Sometimes I give her my share too. You're a good brother, Anton. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues.
Пойду погуляю.
Ага, сейчас.
I...
Чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей фотографией по домам ходили. Лес вон какой густой. А если мальчика звери дикие утащили? Или того хуже?
Why did that echo? Even worse, echoed through the hallway. That was well done.
Да я рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
Что я тебе сказала? Мне дважды повторять. Лучше портфель собери или соли поиграй.
The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. That meant the argument was over and Mom had the last word. It's usually how it works. The dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? Trust me, you can smell mice. She hates it when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. That's going to become important later, isn't it? And Olia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babai is living under there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she could see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. Scratched walls? That's not normal. She still didn't believe me. And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Olia's count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Fair. That's things to look at. You. Mom's peg top, a family relic. My mom played with it when she was little, and then she gifted it to me. Olia was the next in succession line. The toy belonged to her now. She stared at the dancing spindle as if it could show her something, a fairy tale, or maybe even our future. Now even my little sister was a bit old for the old squeaky peg top. This was one of them. The cross has seen so many people come and go in this house. It's black and absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. It's not normal. But after Grandma died, Mom was to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm. She cut herself with the cross, sharp corner, and almost fell from a stepladder. Dad called us out from above and ordered the cross be left alone. Yeah. Hi, Mom. Radio. Amerkanov rushes to declare state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions.
Синоптиков к региону приближается циклон, из-за которого ожидается сильный снег, метель, снежные заносы на дорогах. Будьте осторожны и берегите себя.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was difficult to lie to Mom because there's no other way for me to run away from home. Yes, never try and lie to your mother. She knows.
Мам, там что-то с телевизором случилось. Картинка какая-то тусклая, и экран весь в полосах.
Mom's face became visibly distorted.
Без ножа меня режешь. Дострелялся в уток своих.
Hey, Duck Hunt. I understood that reference.
Говорила же, посадите мне кинескоп своей приставкой. Где мы теперь мастера найдем в дыре этой, а?
Well, I'm something of an IT guy myself.
Может быть, просто настройки сбились? Сходи, посмотри, пожалуйста.
Нормально же работал с утра.
Sorry, Mom.
Из-за снегопада, наверное, неполадки.
Possible. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olia's room. I guess I'm free. There's no time for this. Mom will come back soon. Oh, okay. Well, I missed that. And that's the next part. So that's actually where I'm out of time. So this is where I'm going to wrap it up, everybody. If you like what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button. Come along, join the channel for the adventure. We've got this. We've also got Security Breach coming out. We got a brand new ARC series coming out. Brand new ARC series, which I'm super excited for. That I will be making like a little like pre-video to it. And everything just kind of explaining what's going on in it and why the video is going to be like a highlight reel sort of kind of thing for like the first 3,000 days on the server or something. I'll explain it all there. But yes, hit that like and subscribe button, join the channel. Come along for the adventure, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.